Hello, welcome back to some Strat-O-Matic baseball. Today I have the opening day of 1981 with a classic set from 1981, obviously. Should be a good matchup. We have Tom Seaver going against Steve Carlton. The Reds won this game 3-2 in real life. Of course, 1981 was the split season with the strike and all that silliness. The The Reds had the best record in baseball, I believe, the National League for sure, but didn't end up in first either either half of the season. So, not sure what I'll go to do with this, but this first game looked intriguing, so I thought I would play it and see how it goes. So, without further ado, we'll get on it here. All right, so leading off for the Phillies will be Pete Rose. Again, Tom Seaver on the mound. He was 14-2 with a 255. Pete hit 325. So if it wasn't for Rose's gambling, Hall of Famers. All right, so let's get started. All right. So that's a 3-5, and that's a single. Pete Rose starts off 1981 with a base hit. Doing as-played lineups, at least for this game. So Pete, let's see. One thing about these older cards is that the steal ratings aren't on the card, so go ahead and hold him over there. So you got Mini Trio. He hit 287, 6 home runs, 36. He's a B bunter. So I think we will do the corners in. And he's going to hit away. It's a 4-10. That's a center field X. They got Griffey in center field, and he's a 4-5. So that doesn't bode well for us. So he gets an 11. So that's going to drop for a 2-star single. 12-15. Just missed making an error on top of it. So that's a blooper out to center field. Griffey not able to get to it. Rose hustling will make it to third. Sliding head first, of course. And the Phillies have them on the corners with nobody out. So Trio is a B stealer, so we'll hold him on first. And we'll do the corners in with this pitching matchup, even though it's early in the game. Might be a good idea to try to cut Rose out at the plate if we can. So that brings up Bake McBride, 271, 2 home runs, 21 RBIs. So they're going to swing away with McBride. That's a 6-8, and that's a walk. So Tom Seaver is not pitching Tom Seaver-ish. He proceeds to load the bases with nobody out for Mike Schmidt. So Schmidt had a very good season, 316, 31 home runs, 91 RBIs. Those 31 home runs was only in 354 at-bats. I think they played like 110 games this year, roughly. So we'll do the corners in again. 4-4, that's a third base X. Knight is a 217. So we might be able to get something good out of this. So 4-4. Let's see, anything 10 and up will be a double play. And of course he rolls a 4, and he was in. So that's going to be a 2-star single because we had him in at the corners. 9-11. He didn't make an error, thankfully. So Schmidt slaps one past Knight. Foster will field it. Rose will score. Trio will score. McBride will make it to third. And Mike Schmidt puts the Phillies up 2-0. Not an exciting start. All right, so Schmidt's a B stealer, so we'll hold him on at first. Guess we need to do the corners in again. So Gary Matthews hit 301, 9 home runs, 67 RBIs. Schmidt's trying to get a lead, and he is not able to get one. He's going to try to run anyway, so 1-12, he is out. Got Johnny Bench behind the plate, and he gets a 2. So it's just keeps getting worse. We'll see if there's an error on the throw. An 8 probably is. Yep, he throws it into center field. McBride will score, and Schmidt's in at third. So how about that? Exciting. Stolen base. E2. Bench didn't play a lot of catcher this year. All right. So we'll go ahead and do the infield in. Like I said, it just keeps getting worse. For Gary Matthews. Oop. I always do that when there's a stolen base. So Gary Matthews still at the plate. 1-4, and that's a fly ball to left field. Foster has a 1 arm. So they're probably going to try to send Schmidt. See with the question mark, it should be probably 17. So we're going to try because there's somebody else on. He gets a 9, and he's going to score easily. 4-0 Phillies. At least we finally get an out. So the Phillies ended up being 59-48. They won the first half, came in third the second half. The Reds, again, had the best record in the National League, and they ended up second twice. So Gary Maddox, he's 263, 5 home runs, 40 RBIs. 6-9, and that's a ground ball to second base. Ron Oster, I believe, who's a 218. He gets a 5, so he will get to it, and a 10. So nice play by Oster. 2 away. Larry Boa hit 283 with 31 RBIs, no home runs. 1-5, and that's grounded down to the first baseman, Dan Dreesen. And he will take it on 1 hop, flip to Seaver, and that will take care of the Phillies in the first. But Steve Carlton on the mound, giving them a 4 spot to start the game, is going to be an uphill struggle. All right. So Steve Carlton, he was 13-4 with a 2.42 ERA. Dave Collins, switch hitting outfielder, will lead off. He hit 273, 3 home runs, 23 RBIs. .68 versus the righty, and he proceeds to whiff. 1 away. Brings Ken Griffey to the plate. Ken Griffey normally a center field or a right fielder, but playing center field today. He hit 311, a couple home runs, 34 RBIs in the real life campaign. 6'4", that's a catcher's card. Bob Boone is behind the plate. He's a 3.8, so with nobody on, it's probably going to be an out. So that's a 20, got a 14, so little nubber right in front of the plate. Boone jumps out from behind the plate and fires onto Rose for out number 2. Now bring Dave Concepcion. He hit 306, 5 home runs, 67 RBIs. 2 away, nobody on. 6-5, and that's a fly ball, shallow fly ball out to center field. Maddox will come on and put it away to end the inning. So Carlton retires the Reds in order. After 1, the Phillies are up 4-0. I love these old cards, the pre-cut, the solid white Again, not quite as much detail as the newer ones have, and I doubt, I'd be surprised if they ever reprint the 81 set for at least for a while, but we'll see. All right, so Bob Boone, he hit 211, 4 home runs, 24 RBIs. See if Seaver can get back on track here. So 3-8, and that's a fly ball out to center field, and Griffey will get to this one with no difficulty for out number 1. So I think the computer version updated the pitcher hitting, so we'll see, so that they have the real life pitcher hitting. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not for sure. Doesn't look like a pitcher hitting card. See, Carlton's a 1. See if it's a. That's an old pitcher hitting card. Let me look at a new one, see if it's the same. No, it looks like it's not. So I think that in the computer, the pitchers have their own hitting cards, so which I prefer. So anyway, Steve Carlton, he hit 134, and he gets a 1-6, and that's going to be a strikeout, so you won't see that on the cards, unfortunately. Seaver gets Carlton looking for out number 2. So that brings Pete Rose back to the plate for the second time in 2 innings. He singled and scored on Mike Schmidt's 2-run single. 2-8, and that's a ground ball to short. Rose slaps it the other way, but Concepcion is there, and he will gun him down for out number 3. So Seaver recovers to pitch a good inning, but the damage might be done. We go to the home half of the second. The Reds down by 4. George Foster steps to the plate. He hit 295, 22 home runs, 90 RBIs. 1-6 versus the lefty, and that's a single to center field. Maddox will play it on a couple hops, throw it back to the infield, and the Reds have their first base hit of 1981. Foster's a D stealer, but they're going to hold him on nonetheless. So that brings Johnny Bench to the plate. He had a good year, even though he only played 178 at bats. He hit 309 with 8 home runs, 25 RBIs. So let's see what Foster's chances are. So he's 1-13. He's got a 3% of getting a lead. So Bench is certainly a double play candidate, but let's see what he can do versus the left-hander Carlton. So 5-6, and he proceeds to whiff. Carlton gets him with that nasty slider. Strike 3 swinging. Boone throws a quick peg back to first, but Foster's back safe. 1 away. Dan Dreesen, he hit 236, 7 home runs, 33 RBIs. Lefty versus lefty. 5-8, and he proceeds to strike out. Fastball on the inside corner. Dreesen thought it was a little bit in. It is not, but he is rung up by the umpire for out number 2. So with 2 outs, we might see if Foster can get a lead. It's a 3% chance. There's no percent chance automatically, but he can get picked off. But he is not going to get a lead. So Ray Knight, 259, 6 home runs, 34 RBIs. 2-6 versus the lefty, and that's a hard ground ball to short. Larry Boa plays the smooth hop off the turf, throws on to Rose at first, and that'll do it for the Reds in the second. So they get a hit and leave our runner. No runs, however, so we go to the top of the third. Philadelphia Phillies 4, Cincinnati Reds nothing. Manny Trio will step to the plate. He singled and scored as well in the first. So a 4-7, and that's going to be a strikeout. Second one of the day for Seaver. Got Trio on the hook. Nice curveball. Strike 3 looking. 1 away. Bake McBride, he walked and scored on the sacrifice fly by Gary Matthews. That's a 4-5, and that's a fly ball out to right field. Medium death. Collins is there to snag it for the second out of the inning. Mike Schmidt had the big hit back in the first inning. He singled and ended up stealing, going to third on Johnny Bench's throwing error and scored. Let's see, I got somebody's missing an RBI, so Schmidt got 2. I got Matthews with 1. Maddox must have had 1 on that ground out. All right, so we got Schmidt up, 2 out, nobody on. 2 Hall of Famers here, 2-10, and that's pulled out to left field. Foster will take a few steps toward the line and snag it for out number 3. So for the second inning in a row, the Phillies go in order. Home half of the third coming up. Reds still down by 4. Ron Oster hit 271, 5 home runs, 42 RBIs. 5-7 versus a righty, and he proceeds to go down on strikes. Strikeout number 4 for Carlton. Oster takes that one. Looks a little low, but the umpire says it caught the knees, and Oster will return back to the bench, dejected, bat in hand. So Tom Seaver. Yes, it looks like they definitely do have the individual pitcher hitting card. So Seaver hit 200, did have a home run. So it's a 2-8, but he proceeds to strike out as well. Not able to catch up to the Carlton fastball. And there are 2 outs. Strikeout number 5 for Carlton. So he is looking good so far today. That 4-run deficit is looking very steep. So 6-7, and he strikes out the side. Collins checks his swing. They will appeal to the first base umpire, and they ring him up. So 6 strikeouts and 3 innings for Steve Carlton, as Collins strikes out for the second time in his many plate appearances. We got 3 in the books. Reds down by 4. Tom Seaver will start off the top of the 4th with Gary Matthews. So he had the sacrifice fly back in the first inning. 6-10, that's a catcher's card. So bench is a 2-3. Again, with nobody on, that should be an out if he doesn't commit an error of some kind. So we got a 5. I think that's a pop-up. 7-8, no error. So that's popped up on the infield. High fastball. Matthew swings a little late. Bench will call and wave everybody off. 1 away. Gary Maddox, so he grounded out. Oh, I know how that other run scored. Bake McBride scored on that throwing error by Bench, so there is only 3 RBIs. All right, so Gary Maddox grounded out his first attack. 1-7, and he proceeds to strike out. Strikeout number 3 for Seaver, trying to keep up with Carlton. He's halfway there. That's a curveball in the dirt. Maddox looks bad on that one. 2 away. Larry Boa, he ended the first with a ground ball to Dreesen. 2 away, nobody on. 2-4, and that's hit hard to Dreesen once again on a line. Dreesen will snag it out of the air for out number 3. 9, 10, 11. 12. So Seaver is retired 12 in a row. We go to the bottom of the fourth, 4-0 Philadelphia. We got 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Reds here in the bottom of the fourth. And Steve Carlton has just given up 1 hit to Foster so far, 6 strikeouts. Griffey hit a number in front of the plate that Boone retired him on, so that's a 1-8, and that's going to be a single to right. So Griffey pulls a liner between Trio and Rose. McBride will play it on a couple bounces, throw it back to the infield, and the Reds have their second base hit of 1981. So Griffey is a B stealer. He's got a 50% chance of getting it with being held on. We'll go ahead and let Concepcion hit. He flew out to center field, his first at bat in the first. Oh, that's going to be trouble. 4-4. We got an 8 on the 20-sided die. So Concepcion hits that one to deep center. Maddox, who's a 1 fielder, is not going to get to that one. That's going to be a double for Concepcion. The third base coach will hold Griffey at second with nobody out. Down by 4. We don't want to get thrown out at the plate. So Concepcion with obviously his first double of the year. And the Reds have runners on second and third. Nobody out for George Foster. So the Reds threatening here in the fourth. Foster, who you want to have up in this situation. I don't think they're going to try to pitch around him. Infield back, of course. So Foster singled in his first at bat. 5-10, and he draws a walk. So the bases are loaded for Johnny Bench. Nobody out, so they're going to play the infield back, hoping for the double play. Bench struck out in his first at bat. Steve Carlton got some good names in this game. Carlton, Bench, Seaver, Rose. Okay, so here's the pitch to Johnny Bench. That's a 6-8, and he strikes out. So Steve Carlton reaches back, gets a little extra gas, and Bench is not able to get it. Out number 1. So that's a big out for Carlton. So that brings Danny Dreesen to the plate. He struck out as well in his first at bat. So the Phillies just a double play from getting out of the inning. 1-6, and he walks. So how about that? Danny Dreesen able to drive in a run with a little patience. It's just a little bit low. Umpire calls it ball 4, and the Reds are on the board. Base is still loaded for Ray Knight. All right, Ray Knight, he grounded out to end the second to Larry Boa at short. Carlton in a little trouble here. That's a 3-5. Oh, no. That's a hard ground ball to Larry Boa at short. He scoops it on to Minnie Trio, who makes a nice pivot to Rose. Inning ending 6-4-3 double play. So not what you wanted there. But the Reds do get on the board. Lose a golden opportunity to gain a little bit more ground. So we go to the top of the fifth. The Reds now down by 3. Bob Boone, we got 8, 9, and 1 for the Philadelphia Phillies. Boone flew out to Griffey to lead off the second. It's a 1-6, and that's hit hard down to Dreesen on a line. Dreesen scoops it just off the ground. Umpire calls him out, 1 away. Steve Carlton, he struck out his first effort of the game. That's a 2-7, and he strikes out in his second effort of the game. 2 away. Strike 3 call, a curveball. Carlton just stood there admiring. Out number 2. Pete Rose is 1 for 2. For the run scored, that's a 2-7. And he's going to slap it the other way once again to Knight this time. And Knight will set and throw and get him for the 3rd out of the inning. So for the 4th inning in a row, Phillies go in order. So Seaver has obviously found his groove. But is it too late? Ron Oster, 8-9-1 for the Reds here in the bottom of the 5th. Oster struck out. So Carlton with 7 strikeouts for the day. 3-8, and that's a hard grounder to short, but Boa will backhand it. Throw on to Rose, out number 1. Tom Seaver was a strikeout victim in his first at bat. It's a 4-5, and there is going to be some trouble. Got a 15 on the 20-sided die. So Seaver's. Oh, crap, I hit the wrong one. Time for undo. I gave him a double. Let's try this again. I have to wait for the thing to do its thing. So undo last play. Let's try that again. So 4-5, not 4-4. 15, so that's going to be a single. So Seaver able to pull a Carlton pitch into left field. Hit number 4 of the day for the Reds. Seaver not a threat to steals, not being held on. So Dave Collins has struck out twice so far today. Collins, a switch hitter, does a little better from the left side than he does the right. 4-5, but he does good this time as he gets a 2-star single as we get another 4-5. So the Reds will bring the tying run to the plate and Ken Griffey. So Collins slaps it the other way. Seaver, who's not very quick, is able to make it to third as McBride has to run into the alley to get to it. He'll throw it in, hold Collins to a single. Seaver over to third, and the Reds have him on the corners with 1 out. For Ken Griffey, who singled and scored in 2 at-bats. Again, now Collins is a good runner, but he's only got a 50% chance to steal as Carlton holds as at a -6. Carlton good at holding runners on. I don't want to get him thrown out, so let's just hope Griffey doesn't hit into a double play like Ray Knight did. So here's the pitch. 6-10. That's a ground ball to second base. Manny Trio, who's a 113, so this is not looking good. He gets a 13 and a 6 and another inning-ending double play. So Griffey hits it hard to Trio. Trio with a nice grab. Will throw on to Boa, on to Rose. 4-6-3. So those double plays, Carlton's best buddy today. So we go to the top of the 6th. Philadelphia 4, Cincinnati 1. So Seaver, 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 4 runners got on, and since then he has retired everybody. So Manny Trio singled and struck out. He gets a 5-5. That's a slow grounder to second base. Oster charges, fields, and gets him by a step. 1 away. Bake McBride is walk scored and flied out to Dave Collins in right field. 2-4, and that's another fly ball out to right field. Collins will take a few steps to the line. Hit a little deep, but he's able to track it down. Out number 2. Mike Schmidt. 2-run single. Stolen base. The big hit of the game so far. That's a 5-5, and that's another slow grounder out to second base. And Oster will get him for out number 3. So, Seaver's mowing him down. We go to the home half of the 6th. 4-1 Philadelphia Phillies. Got 3, 4, and 5 due up. Concepcion is doubled and got as far as third base, but was stranded there. 1-6, and that's going to be a line out to short. 1-6, 16 on the 20-sided die, so lined right at Boa, 1 away. Hit it hard, but right at the shortstop. George Foster has singled and walked today. 1-7, and that's going to be another line out to shortstop. Boa snags this one over his shoulder. Got a 1-8. 8 on the 20. Oh, 1-7. I always, like I said, lose about 20% of my IQ points when I am recording for some reason. So that's a 1-7 out of 1-8. Got an 8 on the 20. He needed a 1 or a 5 for a single. Didn't get it. So Boa snags that one. Robs him of a hit. 2 away. Johnny Bench is struck out twice, so he's having a hard time with Carlton. 3-11, and he walks this time. A little better results this time for Mr. Bench. That's the 3rd walk issued by Steve Carlton. Bench not a threat to steal. So Danny Dreesen, he has struck out and walked. 3-6, and he walks again. So Steve Carlton getting a little wild here in the bottom of the 6th. Reds have him on first and second, 2 away for Ray Knight, who hit into that double play to kill the rally in the 4th. Ray Knight looking for the pitch. Here it is. 6-5, and that's a shallow fly to center field. So Knight got under it. Little rainbow out to Maddox, and he will get it for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Reds come up empty again. We go to the top of the 7th. Still 4-1. All right, Gary Matthews is sacrifice flied and popped out to bench. 3-6, and that's going to be a line out to short. Hit hard and high, but Concepcion with that awesome vertical leaps, able to bring that one back down. 1 away. Gary Maddox is 0 for 2 with a whiff. 5-6, and that's a ground ball to short X. Concepcion's a 134, so he's got good range, but he is error prone. So he's able to get to it and get a 16, but he's going to throw it away. So nice play to get to it, but he throws it over Dreesen's head. That'll end up in the stands, and Maddox will be on second base with Cincinnati's 2nd error of the day. So that's the first base runner since the 1st inning for the Phillies. 2nd error again for the Reds. So Maddox is going to need to be held on, as he is a good chance to steal. Even 3rd. So Larry Boa is 0 for 2. So he's going to try to steal 3rd base. So 1-13, he makes it. Let's see if Bench can not throw it into the outfield this time. 15, and I believe he's going to gun him down. So bench comes up firing. Head first slide by Maddox. Knight with a quick tag, and he is gunned down. So how about that? Caught stealing 2 to 5 for out number 2. All right. Larry Boa still at the plate. Nobody on and 2 out this time. That's a 5-8. And that's another shortstop X. Let's see if Concepcion can not throw this one away. So with a 1, he obviously will get to it. And he gets, ooh, nice play. So that's a 2. I always consider that a really good play because that had been a double or a single for anybody else besides a 1. So awesome play by Concepcion. And he gets an 8. No error this time. That's a highlight reel in the hole. Concepcion dives up and throws, bounces it to Dreesen and gets him by a step. All right. Nice play by Concepcion. So we go to, I'm going to turn that down. I think that does a copyright thing. So we go to the bottom of the 7th, 4-1 still, Philadelphia. Said the real score was 3-2 in favor of the Reds in real life. So we got our trivia question. What popular retired player played his entire career without playing in a World Series? I'm going to say Ernie Banks. He's probably more than him, but I'm going to say that. Andre Dawson. The popular belief is Ernie Banks, who played in 2,528. Dawson played in 2,627. So I did not know that. All right, Ron Oster. Due up here. So Roaster is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 5-4. That's a fly ball to center field X. Maddox is a 112, so he'll get to it if he doesn't make an error. So 5. So pretty good play. 10-12. And nice play by Maddox as he goes deep to right center field, but he's able to track it down 1 away. So do you pinch hit here? About have to. Yeah, we're going to have to. So let's see who we got on the bench here. We got Joe Nolan. We need a righty, actually. So Michael Berry's not an option. Kennedy's not that great. Mijas is pretty good. So we'll go with Sam Mijas. I'm not for sure he's carded. I have to look. Sam Mijas. Yep, there he is. All right. Mijas hit 286 with 7 RBIs and 49 at-bats in real life. See if he can get something going for the Reds here in the bottom of the 7th. 6-6, and he proceeds to strike out. Seaver could have done that. All right, so Sam whiffs for the second out of the inning. Strikeout number 8 of the day for lefty Carlton. Dave Collins, he struck out twice and singled. He was erased on the double play by Griffey in the 5th. 3-9, and he's going to be hit by a pitch. It's going to leave a mark. Banner by Carlton. All right, so Collins on the hard way. Ken Griffey is 1 for 3. Ken Griffey Sr. Of course, he was just Ken Griffey then because nobody knew about Junior. 2-7, and he strikes out. So strikeout number 9 for Carlton. So Carlton is just tough today. So let's see who the Reds will bring in to relieve Seaver. Looks like the Phillies have 8, 9, and 1 due up. All right, so let's see who the Reds got on in the bench here. Tom Hume. Looks like a good option. Tom Hume it is, so that's it for Seaver. Again, he did fantastic after that first inning, but looks like the damage may have been done. So Tom Hume was 344, 9-4 with 13 saves. He'll face Bob Boone here in the top of the 8th. Nobody out, nobody on. 5-7, and that's a whiff. So nice job by Hume. Get the first out of the inning. That'll bring Steve Carlton to the plate, who struck out twice. They're going to let him hit, of course. 3-7. That's a ground ball down to Dreesen. Hit pretty hard, but Dreesen able to field it on a couple hops. And he'll take it to the bag himself, as it was hit hard enough to give him some time. Out number 2. Pete Rose is 1 for 3. It's a 3-5, and he hits a single. So second base hit of the day for Pete, as he pulls it by Dreesen. A 2-out single. So Rose is a B, or a D is Steeler. So we're going to play behind him. See what they do about that. Mini Trio is 1 for 3. He's going to try to get a lead. He's going to try to steal 1-15. So we probably should have held him, looks like. And he's just going to slide in. Barely in. That may not have been good management there. All right, Rose on second. Mini Trio at the plate. Again, 1 for 3 today. 2-10, and that is hit hard, and it is hit deep to center field. Griffey will admire that one. That one finds the green seats, and Philadelphia is up 6-1. So Mini Trio mushed that one. First home run of the year, 2 RBIs. And Bake McBride. So the Reds are in real trouble now. That's a 5-3, and that's a right field X. Collins is a 4-8, so that doesn't bode well, but we get a 19. But he makes a 2-base error. So he gets to it, but fumbles it, and the Reds have their 3rd error of the day. So it's just not been a good day for the Reds today. That's an E9. And that'll bring Mike Schmidt to the plate in a clutch situation. In 1981, this set doesn't have clutch. It also don't have ballpark effects. So 2-7, that's going to be a 1-star single. So that's a little infield single. Knight will charge it, but not able to get the throw off. The Phillies have them on the corners with 2 out. For Gary Matthews, who's going to sacrifice fly in 3 at bats. All right. Tommy Hume not doing so great here in relief. So we'll hold Schmidt on at first. He's trying to get a lead and not able to. So 2 out, runners on the corners. Philadelphia up by 5. 2-12, and that's a hard ground ball to Concepcion. It's short. He'll set and throw on to first, and that'll do it. The Phillies add to the lead. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Reds now down by 5. Steve Carlton got 3, 4, and 5 here in the bottom of the 8th. Concepcion is doubled in 3 trips. 5-8. He proceeds to whiff for the first time of the day. Strikeout number 10 for Carlton. 1 away. George Foster is 1 for 2 with a walk. 4-9, and that's a second base X. Trio is a 113, so he will get to it as he is a fine fielder. He doesn't make an error, so he gets a 5, so very good play. However, 12, 17, yep, he makes the play. So good job by Trio there. Some fine glove work for out number 2. Johnny Bench has struck out twice and walked once. 2 out, nobody on. Just the faithful left in the stands here. 5-6, and Bench strikes out for the 3rd time today. Strikeout number 11 for Carlton. So Carlton is just impressive on opening day 1981. All right, we'll leave Tom Hume in there, see if he can mop up now. He's got Gary Maddox to deal with, who is 0 for 3. He reached on an error by Concepcion his last time. 2-11, that's a fly ball out to center field. Griffey will track it down, 1 away. That brings Larry Boa to the plate. He's 0 for 3. .48 lefty, and he's going to proceed to do some damage here. So Hume just having all kinds of trouble. So Larry Boa, he will pull that one into the right center field gap. It'll roll to the wall, and he will coast into second with a 1-out double. His first one of the season, of course. Bob Boone is 0 for 3. Okay. So Hume throws back to Boa at second base. Not able to pick him off. Boone will take his swing then. 2-8. That's a single to right. Collins has a +2 arm. Boa runs at a 16, so I imagine he will be waved around and probably score easily. 1-19. Yep, we would just hold Boone at first, and it gets worse for the Reds. First base hit of the day for Boone, and RBI of the year. All right, so you got Carlton at the plate. We'll do the, I doubt they're going to bunt. We'll see. Yeah, they're actually going to have Carlton bunt. He lays it down. Hume will pick it up and fires to second. Safe at second, but they're able to lay it on to first, and so he is out. So how about that? So that's a sacrifice bunt, 1-6-3. Out number 2. So Boone got a good jump on that one because he's not a good runner. So Rose is 2 for 4. A couple runs scored today. Hume trying to get out of the 9th here without any more damage to his ERA, which is at 16.20 now. 2-7, and that's a ground ball to third. So Pete Rose slaps it the other way for the 3rd time today, but Knight is there. And we'll gun him down to end the 9th. But they tack on another run, so we go to the bottom of the 9th. The Reds down by 6 with Steve Carlton throwing a gem on the mound. Doesn't look good. They got 6, 7, and 8 due up. Andreessen is 0 for 1. He's walked a couple times. Got an RBI on one of those walks. 6-3. That's a shortstop X. Boa is a 219. Decent fielder. See if he can get to this one. 14 he does. 6-8. No error. So nice play by Boa. 1 away. That brings up Ray Knight. Ray is 0 for 3 with that rally-killing double play in the fourth to boot. That's a 3-9, and there's a single. So he slaps that one past Schmidt at third. The Reds have a base hit. That's their 7th hit of the game. Or 6th hit, rather. So that brings Ron Oster. Oh, Carlton bounces that one in front of the plate. It gets by Boone. Knight will advance to second on a wild pitch. Maybe Carlton getting a little tired here. First game of the year. So he's hit a batter. That's his first wild pitch of the day. So at least the Reds can avoid the double play unless they hit into a line out variety. 3-12, and that's hit hard to short. So thankfully that would have been the end of the game if that were not for the wild pitch. So Boa looks Knight back to second, throws on to Rose, 2 away. So that'll be a pinch hitter here for Hume, of course. And we got Mike Vale, Junior Kennedy, Michael Berry. Not a lot of options. We'll go with Junior Kennedy. Last hope here for the Reds in the ninth. I think Kennedy was carded. Yep. All right, Junior Kennedy. 2 out. Ray Knight at second base. Steve Carlton 1 out from a complete game. That's a 1-5, and that's hit down to the third baseman, Mike Schmidt. Mike Schmidt will set and throw on to Rose, and that's the game. So that'll do it. Opening day for Cincinnati. Steve Carlton picks up the win. Seaver takes the loss. The hitting star for Philadelphia, Manny Trio, was 2 for 4 with a home run. The Philadelphia Phillies, they get 7 runs on 8 hits, no errors. The Reds 1 run rather, 6 hits on 3 errors. So not a lovely day for baseball in Cincinnati. However, it was fun to play with this set. Again, I have a couple of these, and so just wanted to pull out the 81. Not sure what I'll do with it, but just wanted to get a game out. I haven't done a baseball game in quite a while, and so it was very enjoyable, even though the results weren't what I wanted. So anyway, I appreciate it very much, and I will see you next time.